Hi, this is EE533 Network Processor Design and Programming Lab 3. I'm Siddharth Sadish Kumar. I'll be explaining Lab 3, which is about design of a mini intrusion detection system or mini IDS. So I'll be explaining my lab project on this in this video. The mini intrusion detection system consists of three important blocks: input 54, drop 54, and the detection of 7 bits. Detection of 7 bits is the main block for us because it detects any patterns in data and checks for any data patterns and matches, and based upon that we are able to get our outcome. So it takes 7-bit data segment from the stream of data and matches it with any malicious data pattern we set, and if there's a match, it is a malicious data set, and we just drop it in drop 54 for that. So we have designed detection of 7 bits and drop 54 in our lab work. Input 54 was given to us by the professor. Starting with 7-byte detection system. So for this 7-byte detection system, we have done using a schematic. This consists of three custom blocks within them, and I'll explain all the custom blocks. So first is a 9-byte register file. So this is the 9-byte register, which is designed using four 16-bit D flip flop and one 8-bit D flip flop to make an 9-bit set, which is around 72 bits. So for by the next is a bus merge. So bus merge is for concatenating two data sets. We want to check all possibilities of 7 bytes. For this, we concatenated six 6 bytes of first set, last 6 byte of data set one, and of all of the network pack, and with the first 8 bytes of the data pack two. This ensures that all 7 possible, like 7 packet possibilities will be considered. For example, the Malaysia data set coming from the last 6 packets of data set one and first byte of last 6 byte of the data set one and first byte of data set two, which also can be a data set even in a streaming data. So that we want to cover that base also. So we considered it as an so we concatenate like check for that also, that possibilities, or it can, and then we use this 14 bytes data into the word match for checking for any whether it's matching with our malicious data pattern we set. So the malicious data pattern is set in a hardware register array, and this is this is my bus merge, which is for concatenation basically. So you done using Verilog code, pretty basic code this is. And for word match, we used all comparator blocks. So there's a option called wildcard here, which is so each comparator blocks is for this is an 8-bit comparison block. All of them are 8-bit comparison blocks. So each comparison block has something called a mask. A mask helps in checking which byte needs to be checked. So for example, if we don't want one of the byte to be checked, and we just by default goes in as one and show it as match. So this kind of ensures that we only check the bytes we require, and some bytes which are not required. Just like we can just pass it through in a 9-bit data in a 7-bit data. So these comparison blocks are for 7 bits each, 7 bytes each. So these comparison blocks for checks all, like if any of the 7-byte matches with the malicious data back 7 bytes, and with this is the wildcard, which is actually stored in same hardware register as 62 to 56. So our hardware register around 8 bytes, out of which we keep the last 7 bits for checking the 7 bytes in the hardware register. So this is the design for it. And over here, we connected this to match flip flop. So this is actually connected to ensure that it resets after after one check. It actually reset to like start over again and just take remove the whole packet. So for that we've made a design to loop up. So if it's a match here, then whatever it is match or not, it's negated anyway. So essentially, like pipe one, if it's like a match with pipe one and pipe zero data, if there's a match, you just invalidate both pipe one and pipe zero. Like it will just completely reset and start with pipe two and pipe three. For that, we just almost like it's almost like a reset option. For that, we've connected this made this connection. So that is the design for a detection block of 7-bit detection block.
So the next block we're going to discuss is the drop 5.4 block. This is the design for drop 5.4 in schematic. So here we have actually used an 9 byte S block RAM from the IP code generator. In this, it's dual code, one for reading and one for writing. And in terms of pointers, we're using write and read address as our pointers which have been incremented by our binary address. Binary counters. So this will increment write address based upon if it's a write operations active, and also similarly for read, this is the pointer for that. Counter, binary counter for that. So this will just increment our uh, write address and read address, which is our pointers in here in this case. And this last word and first word are actually for in case if it's a first word, we shouldn't read from them that time. So for that, we are having this block similarly for last word. So this actually to like prevent a case in which we are reading or writing where in which first or last word, which is a error. So for that, we are designing a specific last word or first word. Then it should be loaded into the uh, for here to like reset the whole like FIFO for write address, and similarly to have a connection over for read address as well. So that's the main design over here. As you can see over here, also think here it's connected to you can't have a read address when if it's the same address you don't need to like increment it. So for that we're just like having a uh, signal for that. Similarly, also we have another D flip flop for drop packet. So if it's a drop packet, then we'll enable our counter for writing in the memory. This is our memory. So we are using port A for writing in the memory and port B for reading from the memory. Again, we also have an 9 byte register file for sending the data into the memory. So just that's the main design for here. So from this, we have actually generated Verilog codes for both the processes. So I'll show you the Verilog codes for the process for both of the s- uh, block design. Verilog code from the schematic we're able to generate for the 7 byte detection block is this. This is the Verilog code from this. From this, it's hard to interpret what we are planning on doing. So for this, I think it's easier for us in this case to do it using a schematic model. Similarly, for drop 5.4, this is my log code I'm getting. Again, it's pretty hard to like exactly figure out what's going on using a Verilog code. And in these kind of situations, it's actually more advisable to do a design on schematic and then like load the thing using a main Verilog code for simulation. So this is the actual final Verilog code which contains all the blocks we have actually written generated so far, like our schematics block, the Verilog code you get from schematics, and the other Verilog codes we require for input FIFO and for register modules in the FPGA system. So this is a final Verilog code we got from the professor for that simulation design. Up next is a output graph. So I'll show you the output graph I'm getting while simulating and also explain a bit about test bench. So this is actually the main top module for the project. So this is provided to us by Professor, which consists of all the required, like all the blocks we have designed and also provided to us. For example, the input block and the module regs block are being provided to us. And also we designed detect 7-bay and drop FIFO, which are for designed by us. So as you can see here, you can see all the blocks we have designed and also the blocks which are provided. Yeah, these and all are provided to us, and yeah, we designed these two blocks. And I also like to point out this. This is actually the Reg 7A is the register term we are actually going to check for match for this. So we're checking whether there's any match with this pattern for the whole set, and also a 7-bit set. And also we are also checking all the, as you can see here, this is our A mask. What this means is that we're checking for all bytes in the 7-bit array. So here you can see we are like here it's everything is one means we're checking for every byte. So if it's just like one of them is zero, let's say, then we don't check for that byte. It's just like that will just be considered as match and just go through it. This is then established that we only check for certain bytes we require and not all bytes, which might like reducing our work in checking all the bytes little lesser. So it's sort of like a smarter like checking. Instead of like checking everything all the time at once, it's like check whatever bytes we need to check. And this is the test bench waveform we got provided, which this consists of all the inputs and the output blocks, the outputs and inputs and outputs we need for this project. So I'll do a simulation once and so on simulating, this is the waveform we are able to get. And if we take more time and for this, we can see the final output we are able to get. So this is our final output we getting. This matches with our required values and also the graph provided to us by the professor. So yeah, this project is working for us pretty fine, I'll say. So, so yeah, this project does work for us. All the output are matching with what we require and with the provided screenshot we got for the final waveform. So yeah, thank you very much. Ernest.